Hey everyone, it's Ashley Cunningham here, and I'm really excited to be bringing you a pretty cool channeling. From what I can tell, the energy's been building over the last, I want to say like half an hour as I was getting prepared to come live, and honestly, I'm just really excited. We're going to be hearing from Merlin, who is, I think a lot of us know in the Arthurian legends and myths. Merlin is a magical figure who helps a lot of the knights and the hey Bertha, hey Eileen, thank you for joining me. All of the myths in that kind of world come to life, and he helps a lot of the figures through their quests and their journeys. But actually, Merlin, I feel like, is an energy that has shown up in a lot of cultures, not only the Arthurian legends, but just across Europe. And when I decided I wanted to channel Merlin, this kind of collective energy stepped forward. And it's just so fascinating to feel how dynamic this energy is. And it's just really magical and fascinating. And I can't wait to hear what Merlin has to say. If you guys have questions for him, definitely post those in the comments. I do apologize if I don't get to everyone's questions. I would really love to see any questions that you guys have about your spiritual journey, or more specific questions. I find that the guidance that comes through on more specific things tends to be much more dynamic and interesting, and I think it helps a lot more people as well when we ask very specific questions. So that's what I'm looking for tonight. And so what we're going to do is just take a minute. I'm going to kind of scoot over a little bit. And we are going to ask Merlin to step forward. And I know a lot of people who are watching this or who will be watching this later, you guys channel or like to sense energy. So if you want to, feel free to ask Merlin to step forward and share your experience. I'm all about sharing how energy comes in, and that's what I'm going to do right now. And then we'll shift into the message. So let's see here. Whew, I'm just feeling a lot of energy in my heart chakra, and I feel like my heart is like racing. I don't know if it's coming across in my speech. I just feel like there's so much that needs to come out and so much energy that's here. And I'm also feeling it in my solar plexus and in my crown and around my face. Like, he's coming full on, and I appreciate that. I like feeling a stronger energy. It's just really fascinating how the energy feels. Very gentle but firm, and very male energy. Older, I think it just also resonates with the images that I have of Merlin in everything that I've seen him portrayed in, except that TV show Merlin. He was always an old man, or shown as this wizened wizard who's roaming the countryside, and always shown as very old and wise with a long beard, kind of like Gandalf from Lord of the Rings. And he's just smiling, and he's saying that's where he's from, not from Lord of the Rings, but Gandalf is like mirrored off of him, which makes sense. And he's just kind of chuckling, coming in and saying, hello, everyone. And I feel like he's standing in like a circle, and we're all just kind of like at his feet listening to what he's going to say, just kind of like he's sitting there reading us a book, or going to be lecturing to us, which is a really interesting feeling. But he's just saying, hello, everyone. And I feel like he's looking down at all of us, like he's going to teach us or lecture for us. It is so good to be here this evening. It's so great to connect with all of you. And he's highlighting his eyes right now are very icy blue. There's a depth to it, so it's not like just white and like really, really white and light blue. There's like depth to the blue, and then there's some highlights, like frost kind of effects to his eyes. And he's really drawing me in to focus on his eyes. And on his right eye, it's just kind of twinkling a little bit. And he just wants me to see his eyes to kind of convey the excitement that he's feeling, but also the magic, the kind of the mischievousness, the excitement of having this conversation right now, which I'm really excited about. I'm really curious to hear what he has to say. He's saying, well, let's get to it. He is now kind of zooming out, so he's kind of helping me zoom out a little bit so I'm not just focused on his eyes. But he's saying, whew, my heart's going really fast, guys. Hey, Shreya. He's saying, this is a time to get comfortable with your inner magic, with the magic that you feel drawn to on a daily basis, whether that's in your own tea ceremony or your own ritual practice of pouring your tea or coffee, or making your own breakfast, or sitting down throughout the day and just taking a moment to notice nature around you, to notice your inner strength. He's showing himself just sitting there, and he's looking very contemplative, like very quiet and still, but he's taking in everything around him. He knows what's going on around him at all times. And he's saying, this is a magical practice, a magical experience. When you're aware of the energy around you, when you're aware of the vibrancy of everything that composes your reality, you are then drawn to, he's showing like getting rid of stuff, decluttering, bringing in fresh energy, fresh new vibrant beings such as plants or pets, or beautiful paintings that really resonate with your soul. He's just showing like when you have an idea, you've taken stock of your reality, you see what's going on around you. Maybe there's people in your life that just are not resonating with you, and you don't really recognize it until you really sit down and take stock of everything. And he's saying, once you recognize this, and once you look around and you see everything about you, you can then replace it. You can then send it on its way. You can then invite what excites you, what brings you magic in your day. And he's using this term magic very decidedly, very intentionally. He wants us to think of magic not only as the, kind of the traditional thought of magic, but also of this vibrancy of life, this life force that's in everything. And we are made up of this life force. And when we do these exercises, we take stock, we see the magic around us, the trees, our backyard, the beautiful plants, animals, our family, our friends, if we can see them in person right now. Anything and everything that you want to assess, there is going to be a life force there. And assessing that life force and connecting with it is really, it's exciting, because then it shows you what are you drawing in. So it's kind of like that manifestation. You're drawing things in that resonate with your frequency. And as you raise in frequency, and as you create a more magical reality, you're more aware of that life force that's taking place all around you. You get to then really design and bring about and include, and he's saying the word manifest, that vibrancy, that life force that you want to have around you. So this can be to anything, big or small. But he wants us to recognize that we have the power, we have the magic within us, we have this connection with anything and everything, all energy. Everything is energy. So we are connected to everything. And we have the ability to focus our intentions, focus our energies, focus and really prioritize what is important to us in our lives. How do we prioritize those things, whether that be tangible or intangible? And how does that reflect upon us? And how does that coincide? He's saying coincide, but he's also showing the image that I like to see when spirit means alignment. And so does everything in your external world align with your internal world, your inner voice, your inner guidance, your inner sanctuary? And when everything is in alignment, when everything, and it's not always going to be, but as you move forward, and if things change, you can always kind of assess and make changes as needed. But the ultimate goal is bringing in that alignment within your life in all areas, and you can have all areas aligned, and you can ask your team to help you with this. And when I say team, I mean your angels, your spirit guides, ascended masters, beings like Merlin, your starseed family members. There are many, many spiritual beings that are out there and that want to support you and are totally down to show up, do some heavy lifting, help you with whatever you need. And so he's saying that this is something that's important. This is an exercise that's going to be really important as you move forward. And he's showing in the next few months as we move forward through the final moments of 2020 into 2021, there may be a time where going within is going to be a sanctuary that will allow us to preserve and build. He's showing like a bonfire right now. So preserve the flame and build and support that flame, our inner flame, our inner soul light, preserving that and shining that out, making it really bright, consistently reinforcing our light through self-care, through just being in a state of allowance. And he's showing a lot of people like really slowing down a lot, taking the time on the weekends, after work, during the day if you can, just taking it really, really slow, focusing on one task at a time, not running around doing a billion things at once, which I'm totally guilty of. I do that all the time. And I always feel like, oh crap, where'd everything go? Where'd all my time go? It's used doing a lot of different things. And he's showing just being really present. And he's saying, even if you need the reminder, you can ask your team to remind you, to show you your fire. And he's again putting that image of the bonfire in my head. So maybe if we're having a hard day, we might not have a giant bonfire that would be so fun to be around, like on the beach or out in a cool field where you're just hanging out, having a really good time, connecting with family and friends. But maybe it's a little campfire where you're just kind of hunkered down and relaxing and hearing the night sounds. Wherever you're at. I love camping, and I love that moment where at night, the fire's going, or we're waiting for it to die down because we're all ready to go to bed. We're exhausted. No one's really talking. We're just sitting around watching the fire, like zoning out. That's like one of my favorite moments when camping, which is kind of like when we're winding down, and maybe, it's not as fun as other times, but I just love that kind of stillness. And he's saying using any sort of visualization in that way to represent your own light can help assess your own energy. He's saying these exercises, these recommendations, are not to put you through your paces. He's saying not to do a lot of extra work or burden you with something that you have to do along your spiritual path. These are tools that are just designed to or recommended to help preserve the magic of your life, the excitement, and also he's saying recognizing that sometimes we have to step back and we have to take that time to rest. We have to take that time to recharge. And sometimes we may just have to focus on one thing at a time and just try and just be in the moment as much as possible and just go with the flow. Sometimes things just don't work out, and that's okay. And he's just showing that, okay, this is really fascinating. He's showing him and he's more of a light being right now. He's not showing me like the old man figure he was a little bit ago. He's showing him as like this light being standing out in the rolling fields of, I don't know where Merlin actually originates from. He's saying Wales. So in Great Britain, in Wales area. He's saying that he's just showing himself like out on these fields, like there's just fields everywhere. There's maybe some trees kind of dotting the horizon a little bit, but he's just kind of out on these plains, I guess. And he's showing me this. I'm asking him, why are you showing me you just like out in a field? And he's showing me this. He's just really signifying like sometimes when we're doing our inner work, when we're doing this energy work, when we are focused on our path and we're trying to maintain or shift and change as needed, sometimes we need that peace that comes with just kind of being in like a desolate, open plain area. And he's showing himself getting really big. And he's also showing like kind of like the Middle Ages, like way back when people, they had really hard lives. Like they didn't have showers. They didn't have nice toothbrushes or lots of soaps or toilet paper in the way that we have. Like, I don't know why I'm zeroing in on hygiene right now, but that would be something I would just hate to not be able to take a shower whenever I want or not even have enough clothes to change into once you're done bathing or once you're, cleaned up. He's just showing like people had a really hard time back then. And nowadays we still have hard times. We still, have things that we're dealing with in the 3D world. There's a lot of things going on. But he's showing the difference now. There's so much more energy here. There's so much more connection to the life force, that magic within our own lives, as well as the ability to rise in frequency very quickly. He's saying that many of us have had lifetimes in those time periods. We've had these experiences. We've had to, he's showing like trudging through mud. Like many of us have trudged through the mud and had to just go through our dreary lives. I mean, there were some good times, but he's really showing like a very low vibrational frequency that was really consistent with the times. And he's showing now that we don't have to stay there. That's not the norm. The norm is being able to now choose and move forward. And as more people awaken, that magic, that excitement, that opening of our senses and our chakras and our awareness of the spirit around us is so exciting, and so supported by many light workers stepping forward, as well as just kind of the time where just anyone can, believe in anything. We're all safe. We can step forward. We can share our ideas or thoughts, and we can blossom in this time. And to stay in that low vibrational frequency that was like way back then is definitely not something that most people choose. And as we awaken, all of us are rising in frequency, even if we don't choose to pursue that as something that we actively are working on and actively thinking about. Just because Gaia herself is also transitioning, and he's highlighting this and kind of bringing us back around to, he's saying, the magic that's within that frequency, the magic that allows you to manifest that which you desire, that which resonates with your soul, was much harder back then. It was much harder in our kind of in our mythos, our collective consciousness. And that's where a lot of the myths and legends and stories and everything kind of sprang forward as a desire to be able to have these elements in our life. And because we are rising in frequency, these things are much easier to attain. They're much easier to pursue as far as choosing the life that we want to live, and how we want to feel, and how we want to connect with the life force that's around us in the natural world, within our human consciousness, our spiritual connections. It's just really exciting. He's like, now's the time. Now's the time if you want to do any sort of energy work, healing work, natural natural energy work, working with plants or animals. It's so doable now. And he doesn't want anyone to feel like there's a barrier or that there are boundaries that shouldn't be crossed if that's what your soul resonates with. And he's showing like a lot of the animal communicators, animal healers going into the shelters and connecting with the animals and giving all of the animals like Reiki and love and just cuddles, and being in the animal shelter environment and bringing in that light. As an example, I'm asking now, what are other examples? He's saying there are many. Some will resonate with that, and automatically you may have a sense of something that you want to do that maybe you're not super comfortable with yet, or maybe you're worried other people aren't going to be comfortable with what you want to do. But now's the time. There's no really reason to deny yourself joy when you can share your light and share your experience and step forward however you're being called to do that. And that may be writing a book, doing art, singing, working a full-time job and volunteering on the side, or raising a family and just focusing in on your children. There are so many different things that people can do to bring light into this world. And that in and of itself is a magic. It's beautiful and it's exciting. And he's kind of stepping back now. And so I see there are some questions over here. So I'm going to check out the questions and we'll see what comes forward from there. Thank you all for joining me. This has been a pretty cool, I really like his energy a lot. I feel like there's a lot that we could learn from him and connect. Oh, thank you, Sharia. She says, I like your ring. This is my turquoise ring, one of my favorites. I think I gotta polish it up a bit, but thank you. Um, I see another comment here. Okay, let me read this really quickly. Oh, okay. So I don't see this person's name. I am sorry. But it's the comment here is, hello, many years ago I was connecting with Merlin often, which is awesome. He was showing me beautiful images with vibrant colors. I would like to ask if he can come in now and assist me with the healing of my foot. I had complications after my surgery and it's painful to walk. I need some magical assistance with healing, please. He's saying definitely he will come in and support you. And it's kind of cool. I'm standing like in a kind of a magical workshop space in my mind's eye, and he's like rushing over to this big fireplace. It's like a huge fireplace, and he has like lots of these little cauldrons kind of in all these like fires, and he's like dabbling things like pouring things into a cauldron, and that energy is kind of coming out, and it's like you're saying, vibrant colors. It's just like streams of energy, and he's saying, I'll be right there. So that's being sent to you. I hope that you can just rest and relax and accept that assistance from him. Also call in your angels, and I'll be asking Archangel Raphael to assist as well, because you can never get too much help from spirit. They can do a lot more than just help with your foot. So I hope you get a lot of rest, and I hope that heals up really quickly for you. Here's a question. If Merlin was alive now, what would he want to do? He's saying, I am present here on Earth. He's not saying he's reincarnated. He's just very present. But he's saying he would continue to work within the magical realm that may evolve into more of the hard sciences. He's showing like beakers and a lot of testing, and like more of the traditional science lab type setup. So he would probably continue to pursue magic or healing arts and sciences. He's saying that is just who I am. That is my focus. I like to see the balance of the natural with the human world, as well as with the spiritual. And he's showing again that sign for alignment. So aligning his life, his body, mind, spirit, with the natural world through science. So that's pretty cool. Bertha is saying, I would love to know the alchemical and healing benefits of the light language I have been exploring recently, and to know if it's an Arcturian origin. Okay, that is exciting. Okay, so he's confirming the Arcturian origins for you, Bertha. He's saying the word reinforcement. So I'm asking him if that's like the healing benefits of the light language that you are receiving. He's saying yes. Reinforcing your life force, your energy, your vibrational frequency. And it's almost as if this light language is pouring into your body like a liquid, and then it's pushing anything that is not resonating with its frequency out of your body, out of your energetic body, and transmuting it. So that's kind of, he's highlighting that as like reinforcing your energy and transmuting anything that's not of that frequency of that light language, which is pure love and light. They're showing the Arcturians are showing like this golden thread that's coming out of their mouth, like they're speaking words, but they don't really speak words. But it's anyway, for an image, they're speaking words through their mouth, and the words are turning into this golden like ribbon energy, and that's going into you, and it's then kind of, I guess, turning into like a liquid for your body. So yeah, that's kind of a complicated vision there, but it makes sense to me. I hope that makes sense to you, Bertha. Let me know if you have any more questions about that. That's exciting, though, that you've been exploring that. So keep it up. That's good work. Carrie is asking, Arthur and the Sword and the Stone, fact or fiction? He's saying there are some truths, but in the myths, those truths are buried pretty deep. There was a King Arthur. He had a sword, but the mythical stories about him are not as they seem. He's just kind of stepping back on that one. That's really interesting. Awesome. Okay, so let's see here. Is there a time that spirit can't interfere or assist us in our lives? Good question, Alyssa. That's a really good question. He's saying two examples or two comments on that. He's saying if you do not give permission, then they cannot step forward and assist you. You have the free will choice to choose to accept help or not accept help. And he's just saying we need to really be very clear on our choices. We have complete control over everything that happens in our lives based on the choices that we make, based on the energy, the programming that we focus on, the energies, the thoughts that we have within our mind, how we focus on the rest of the external world, and how we maintain our inner world and how we listen to our inner guidance. If you choose to ignore your own guidance or your own instincts or the guidance of your team, and you make a choice that maybe isn't in your best interest, that is of your choice. They cannot undo that for you or make you not choose what you want to choose. They are really here to assist us. They're kind of like the safety net. Like, they're going to catch us when we fall. They're going to help us grow through any situation that we face. But we really ultimately have the power, and that's the magic of being here on Earth. That's the excitement, is we get to see what works for us and what doesn't. And he's showing you always have a choice to do anything and everything. You have a choice of what shirt you're going to wear today. You have a choice of what food you're going to eat. You have a choice of what thoughts you're going to focus on and allow to play in and play out over and over and over again in your head. You're going to have the choice to watch the news 24/7, or maybe listen to some really soothing meditation music, or, listen to something that's going to uplift you or stress you out. So he's showing like we always have these choices. And he's saying number two, we have certain life contract obligations, certain experiences we have said we are going to experience in this lifetime that they cannot, stop us from, or they cannot interfere with, because we have made that choice already as we come into this life experience. And that's just something they can't really make a lot of changes to. We can choose, maybe we choose to have an experience before we get into our human vessel, and then when we get here, we're like, ooh, that experience is really like hard, but let's make some choices, or as we move forward, let's make choices that maybe we can delay that experience, or we can avoid as much as possible, but we still have to kind of deal with it. So not that we really have the forethought or the foreknowledge to know, okay, there's this big thing coming in our lives all the time, that we need to make different decisions, but that's where our team comes in. They're always here to support us and help guide us to the best and for our highest good as much as possible. So he's saying that's the other thing. They can't really change things that we've already agreed to. So great question, Alyssa. Thank you very much for asking that. It's always so fascinating how all of that works. But the main thing, and my guardian angel, her name's Petadiah, my female guardian angel, she's coming in right now on this. She's saying the main thing that her and my male guardian angel want everyone to know is no matter what, you can ask for anything. You can ask them to assist you with anything in your life. And that is your choice. You are exercising that free will choice to ask for help and ask for assistance and guidance, or ask them to do things to help you in a certain situation. And they want you to ask. Our teams are really there to do the work. They're there to help support us. But they also want to remind everyone too that we're a team member. We're a key team member. So we have to not only ask for support and assistance, but we then have to take action steps when we're guided to take action steps. So if you want to, say, have a certain job, maybe researching that field and writing a resume that's going to maybe help you get into maybe an entry-level position in that field, and then you can get the experience to then get that dream job that you've always wanted. You have to take those action steps to like get yourself kind of there, and but you can also ask them to help you make it easy as possible, assist, and bring forward opportunities that allow you to then make that choice to step forward. So don't forget that element. You're a very key part of your own team. So you're not ever alone, and you always have the choice. Patty is asking, when you're around someone daily that drains your energy, how do you separate yourself from them without causing them harm or hurt? Okay, Merlin. There may not be a clear way, Patty. There may not be a way that will limit the perceived hurt or harm that they are going to maybe identify with, because that's their choice to focus on or be offended by you taking care of yourself as you're establishing boundaries, as you're saying no, as you're focusing on what you need to focus on for yourself and your own energy. A narcissist, which that's the type of person who is going to consistently drain your energy and then get hurt when you set up your own boundaries and you establish and maintain those boundaries for your own energetic benefit, just for your own health, your own emotional, spiritual, physical health, mental health, especially. If you're around that person, you know, honestly, there may not be a way to not harm them or hurt them, because they're gonna choose to be in that space. All you can do, and Merlin's really honing in on this, all you can do is send them love and light, but you need to take care of yourself first and ensure that your energy is replenished, and ensure that you are making the choices and setting those boundaries that are best for your health, your overall health. And they're going to do what they're going to do. And that's all you can do. Just send them love and light, but make the choices for yourself and move forward, because they're going to be in that space. If that's how they are, if they're consistently draining your energy, they're going to be wondering, why aren't you being a doormat? Or why aren't you giving them the energy that they feel that they deserve? So definitely just chalk it up to, that's part of taking care of yourself. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be really focused or intentional with causing harm or hurt, but you do have to love yourself, and you do have to take care of yourself, and you do have to set those boundaries and maintain those boundaries, so that way you can move forward in a really healthy way. And in doing so, I've seen many people don't like that. and then they're not going to be happy, but that's their choice to focus on that. So I wish you luck, Patty. I really hope that you can get into a space where you're just really taking care of yourself and preserving and protecting your energy and setting up those boundaries. And I hope that the person you're around just understands and loves you enough to back off a little bit so you can build up your energy and move forward, because that's what you're going to do anyway, right? So I really wish you luck in that. And Merlin says, call on me if you wish to feel kind of like feel a buoy of energy. If you need to feel a presence that just is so mystical and exciting and magical, that can really bring in a lot of high vibrational energy into you, into your space, definitely call on Merlin. He's a really good guy to have as like in your back pocket, to have him just kind of hang out with you and boost you up a bit. Sending you lots of love. Question here, does Merlin work with Saint Germain or Melchizedek or others? Those two came to mind first. He's saying yes. Plain and simple. Yeah, they do work together. He's showing different colors like of flame. Saint Germain often works with the violet flame, and I often see the violet flame when in reference to Saint Germain. And Melchizedek is showing like a really light blue, almost white flame, and then Merlin is showing this like deeper blue, kind of shimmery, sparkly flame. And they're just, he's showing little, I guess, I don't even know what you call them. Braziers, not the bras, but the where you put like flame things in. I'm not making much sense. I don't have the word to describe what I'm seeing, but it's like a torch with flames, and it's like on the wall, and they're all next to each other, and they all have their own little colors, but they all work together. They're all sharing and shining their light, and they're helping people to transmute a lot of energy and to bring in very intentional energy within themselves. So awesome question. That's actually really fascinating. Cool. Okay, Bertha's saying, I totally get that. It's so beautiful. Oh, awesome. They recommended, Ashley, is that a visualization they recommend I do? And do they have any suggestions? Yeah, they're saying if you wish, if you resonate with that imagery that I described, feel free to use that as a visualization to really feel that energy within yourself. If you are, your mind's eye drifts and you get other imagery that also kind of resonates with that energy as you're feeling it, as you're receiving that light language, feel free to just go with the flow on it. You don't have to hold it. Any specific visualization, but yeah, play around with it and see what works for you, and what is just gonna kind of enhance that experience of receiving that energy and that light language. That's pretty cool. Is it true he is Saint Germain? I'm not getting that he is Saint Germain. I'm getting that he does work with Saint Germain. Their frequency is very similar. They're very high vibrational. But I'm not getting that he is Saint Germain. Rachel is saying, last week I had what seemed like a 24-hour stomach bug. Is this part of how the body cleanses itself to make room for higher light, or was it simply an infection of sorts? I'm hearing just plain straight up, Rachel, ascension symptoms that often can manifest as like a stomach bug, or just a lot of fatigue. Definitely nausea, wooziness, lightheadedness. But if you ground yourself, so say you are leaning against a tree, you take a few minutes, you get outside, you lean against a tree, or you sit outside in the yard if you can, or you take an Epsom salt bath, you do something that's grounding, and those symptoms just completely go away, and you feel fine after. Definitely, if it's just after like 3 minutes, 5 minutes, that's definitely ascension symptoms. I always recommend, if you are feeling a lot of symptoms and it's longer than a few days, and or you can't just feel better after grounding or doing that grounding work, definitely get checked out by a doctor. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, drinking as much fluids as possible, and just being really really, I guess, focus on taking care of yourself, I guess is where I was going with that. But yeah, Merlin's just saying it was just intense energy cleansing, making way for that higher light, or those ascension symptoms, anchoring light within your vessel. But he's also saying to just pay attention, be aware of your body and what's going on, and make sure if things persist or are longer than that, definitely take care of yourself. Go to a doctor for sure. Bertha is saying, if you aren't giving them the energy, you also teach them to go within to look for it as well. So that serves them. Yes, definitely. Oh, that's for Patty. Yeah, if you're not feeding them that energy, they're going to just like dip out and go either find someone else, or they're going to look around and see, okay, maybe they need to go within to find what they're looking for. So that's awesome. Okay, so I see here, hi Ashley, I love Merlin. I haven't heard anyone else channel him. Does he have any message for me, please? He's just touching your heart chakra. I didn't see a name, so I'm sorry, I'm not going to be able to say your name, but I'm just seeing you as a light being, and he's just touching your heart chakra and helping to expand your heart chakra out. So you may feel a lot of expansion or a lot of energy in your heart chakra area. And he's saying, please, if you are drawn to me, ask for my assistance to come in and help you. Additionally, there's other work that can be done with your heart chakra in particular, but your chakras in general. And he's just showing you like lying down and him just holding his hands out and working with your team to provide you really high vibrational energy, healing energy for one. But I'm feeling too like more of a mystical feeling, like you're connecting with nature and the spirit around you, and you just feel more magical, for lack of a better word. So he's wanting you to be infused with that mystical, magical feeling, and he just wants you to embrace it. If you're able to do that, just go with the flow. And he's saying this is going to really help shake loose maybe some energy that's, some energy that's maybe kind of been stagnant with you. So yeah, I hope that resonates for you. That's super cool to see that he can kind of bring in and help shake up the energy there. Okay, so let's see. Is there anything else that you would like to share, Merlin, with everyone here? Have you guys heard that? I'm sure you've heard the saying, like, wearing rose-colored glasses, in reference to wanting to see things in certain ways. He's kind of encouraging everyone to put on your magic glasses, put those glasses on to see the world in a way that maybe you haven't seen the world in before. Connect with that that mystical, magical light that's within you, and just be open to anything and everything possible happening in when you're wearing these glasses, when you're being open to the magic of he's saying the magic of the universe. And he just wants you guys to feel that energy and to just, as much as you can, maybe I'm asking him if this should be something that's consistent, or maybe over the next week, if you guys can sit down in a meditation, act like you're putting on your magic glasses and just sit there and really see what comes to you and feel that energy. He's really underscoring feeling the energy, feeling that connection with everything around you that has life force, and seeing how you're all connected and how you can just connect with everything that's around you. It's a way to kind of get out of your typical daily life, but also really be within your life and in your current reality in this moment in a really still way and a really beautiful and exciting way. And he just wants you to feel that energy. So try and step forward in the next, he's saying in the next week, feel free to ask him to come in and assist you with this meditation. And just take, maybe he's saying it can be just 10 minutes. If you're not one to meditate for very long, take just a few minutes to call him in, ask him to help kind of bring in this energy and see what really opens up for you, see what comes forward for you, and what you can process and connect with. And he's just really encouraging everyone to just feel that excitement and just kind of get lost in it. It's going to be really helpful to maintain your vibrational frequency or raise your frequency by a lot if you're feeling this connection and you're feeling this excited kind of magical vibe. He really wants you guys to think about that and pursue that if that sounds interesting to you. He's kind of stepping back now, so let's see here. I have a few more questions that I'll try and address before we go. So I see this user here. I'm sorry, definitely I can't see your name, but the comment is, my son Luke told me that he thinks he's lived many lives and we only go to heaven for a short while and then return. How does he know this at such a young age? Can Merlin tell me if we've shared any past life experiences together? I feel so close to him. He's saying his age does not matter. He is a wise old soul. He recognizes his own experiences. He definitely has lived many lives, and he has gone to heaven. And when we're in that heaven dimension, time's just, it's not real. We have time in this reality because we've determined we need that in this reality. And you can choose to not need it too, if you want to. But he's saying that for a short while, it can be for our own context, it can be, there's like no definition to that. But we go to heaven and then we can choose to return here to earth. We can return to other places as well if we so choose. So he's definitely correct in that. And he knows this because he's done this many, many times. And he is lucky enough to not have forgotten completely who he is as a being of light and love. And Merlin's just excited and encouraging you to foster his conversations around maybe what he remembers around these conversations of spirit and the human experience, and see what he can share, because Merlin's saying he remembers a lot and he has a lot to offer others as he grows older and as he steps forward. So he's really excited and he would love to work with both you and Luke if you choose. And Merlin is saying he is familiar with your energy and you his. He's not outright saying that you've had a past life experience together, but I'm getting the sense that you and him, maybe on the other side of the veil, have definitely worked a lot together. And he's just confirming that, giving me a thumbs up on that. So that's super cool. Oh, Amy, okay, awesome. Yeah, yeah. He remembers a lot, Amy. He remembers a lot. He doesn't have this amnesia that most of us have when we come here to Earth. And we have that amnesia for a reason. It's so we can exercise our free will choices and have an experience that allows us to grow and develop without necessarily knowing full good and well that we can just dip out whenever we want and start over if we feel like it. It's kind of important that we try and do everything that we've set out to do in our life mission. So it's a tool, but it's definitely thinning. There are many, many, many more children who are being born that are of already a higher vibrational frequency that don't have that like amnesia, and they know who they are as they come here on Earth. And I've heard it many times, but my team is just confirming that as we move forward, in the next 2 years even, there are going to be so many babies that are born that have and will present really amazing spiritual abilities, communicating with spirit, knowing who they are, healing abilities, just really beautiful beings who are just happen to be here on Earth for a bit, hanging out, and are going to help teach a lot of people. So that's going to be really exciting to see that as we move forward. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that's a great question. I'm really excited for you, Amy, and for Luke. That's pretty awesome. Let's see. Mimi's asking, oh, this is cool. When Ashley does her angelic Reiki, do you come and join us? He's saying, I have. He's not saying all the time. He hasn't joined all the time. He doesn't always need to be there. There are some people who just really resonate with his frequency. And so when they are stepping forward and pursuing, it may not even just be with me, angelic Reiki or any sort of Reiki or healing experience, he can pop in. And especially if you guys if anyone's asked him to come and work with them more directly, he will definitely partake in that. He says, I've had a few individuals who deeply resonate with him, and he has participated in healings. He's showing a few people in some of the group healings that I've done, and then a few in the one-on-one healings that I've done. So that's awesome. I didn't even think that I would hear anything about my own practice with Merlin. This is the first time I've ever channeled him. I've never tried to reach out to him. And I don't even know where or how I came to, decide to channel him. It just kind of popped into my head. So, and it must have been him because he's just chuckling and laughing at me now. Yeah, he's saying, yes, I was right there. And I told you I wanted to step forward. So that's why we're here. Okay, that's awesome. Anywho, all right. So, yeah, Alyssa is also saying she feels like her son, she says, I feel like I knew my son before he was born in this lifetime. Such a powerful energy, my son. Yes. I'm asking Merlin, is that true? He's saying yes. You both decided to come into this life and be in a mother-son relationship and learn from each other in this lifetime. So you've chosen to be in this place together. Awesome. Okay, so thank you all so much for your questions, your time. Thank you to Merlin for coming in and allowing me to experience his energy. Like I said, I've never channeled him before. This was a treat, and this was like really, really cool. If you guys are drawn to his energy or wish to connect, and if you have more questions, feel free to call him in and just keep your eyes open, keep your senses open. If you have dreams with him in it, just really pay attention. That's our job. When we ask for spirit to step forward, we ask certain questions. our job is to then sit back, relax, and just see how the answers come. And that's all that channeling is. And we can all do this work. So if you're drawn to working with Merlin, please call him in and do so. He's just a really cool energy. So, for lack of a better word, so magical. And I just feel like, I don't even know how to describe how I feel. It's just so magical and exciting to connect with him. So thank you guys again. And I just sending you all a lot of love and light. I hope you all have a great evening, morning, afternoon, wherever you're at in the world. And have a good one. Thank you guys. Bye.